Hi everyone, Sarah here today to share a layout for the Rediscover Your Stash hop. This month we are doing flowers and foliage, and I stuck more along the lines of the foliage. I am doing a fall layout here. This is actually my second take on this because I somehow managed to delete all of my footage for my other video. It's all good. I like the way this one turns out too. So here I started out with a stencil from my stash. And I grabbed a distressed oxide and my little pouncer and went ahead and went over that stencil with that. It makes these different size little circles all over the layout. Most of it doesn't end up even showing up in the end, and that's okay. But I'm going to go ahead and back this photo of my son with some white cardstock, just, add a very small white border to that. And then start pulling some papers from a kit that I put together myself. I don't know how many of y'all do that, but I do stash kits, and this is one that I put together. That's an old Dear Lizzie paper from years ago. And again, I've told you guys before, I have an issue ripping papers. It kind of bothers me, and so I cut them wonky and just rough up the edges. And here's one of my cats. This is Ice, and he wants to be right there with me. I told you hear him sometimes when I'm videoing or doing my voiceover. And if I'm not in the same room with him, he just yells at me until I come to him. And then when I'm scrapbooking, sometimes this is what he does. You saw I cleared off one side of my desk for him to go sit. He's not too happy about that, sitting with his back to me. So he's going to sit in the middle of my layout again as I'm trying to scrapbook. So this goes on for a little bit. Eventually I go and get him his own special little chair, and I put a big fluffy blanket on it, and he gets happy. So here shortly he will be out of the middle of my layout. But the polka dot paper that is behind that wood grain one, that is an old SEI paper. Like, when I say I make kits in my stash or from my stash, I mean, I have stuff from so far back. It's crazy. But that is, the other side of it's got like surfboards and stuff on it. It's an old collection by them, and I love it. And then that's a Paige Evans paper there with the stripe. That's only a couple years old. But I went ahead and mixed these together, and I think they go really well together. I'm going to go ahead and start adhering these down. It doesn't take me too long on this one to figure out that I'm just going to go ahead and add this, and then I'm going to pull out a bunch of the ephemera and start playing with it, adding lots and lots of layers. Well, I say that, I guess more foliage than layers. So as you see, things hang over the edge, but they do have those little strips on the end of them still on most of them, and so I just have to kind of cut them off. Not a big deal. I'll do that here in just a second before I move on any further with the layout. So let's see. I do that. And at this point, my cat is sitting in a chair next to me with his big fluffy blanket and everything. And he's happy because he's in a very close proximity to me. So, yeah, I'm going to rough these edges up a little more, do a little ripping. I like the way the papers go together, but I'm also going to put some layers behind my photo. So I'm trying to figure out which ones I want. And yes, there are some papers, like there's quite a few of those that are Paige Taylor Evans that are with the same kit. I think that's an old Heidi swap. I could be wrong. I did rip that one a little bit, but I ripped it backwards to where the white's not really showing on this side. And then I'm going to find some other papers that I want to go ahead and add to this. I went ahead and grabbed that lighter blue and added a layer of it behind my photo, not all the way across, just to the right hand side. And then I'm going to grab this other, I thought about that one too much for me for this layout, and so I went ahead and grabbed that gradient paper there that's more pinky and added it to the left hand side. And I'm fixing to go ahead and stick those down before I move any further with the layering and stuff. I'm just going to adhere these down flat, and then I will move on. And if I'm not mistaken, after I adhere these all together, I go ahead and add 3D foam to the back of these before I actually adhere them down. Here you'll see me pulling out a bunch of ephemera. There's some of the leaves and stuff from the kit. There's some from Pretty Little Studios over there. They're not quite vellum. They're thicker than that, so I'm not exactly sure what exactly they're made out of. But I have those over there to the side as well. You see me try to start tucking tags and stuff. I'm not really liking the way they look. And here I'm going through and I'm pulling the flowers. I mean, I have put flowers on photos of my boys before. That's not a problem, but I wanted to stick with the leaves because this was in fall. This was actually in November of last year. And he's out by a creek and I got a picture of him. So I wanted to keep it more in the fall-y colors, more fall-y leaves and stuff like that instead of flowers. So I had pulled out, as you see, a ton of the leaves. And I'm going to start sticking them here and there, not adhering them down, and realizing, you know, I don't have my photo adhered down. So here in a few minutes, I'm going to sit here and mess with this for far too long without having anything put down. And then I am just going to brush it all to the side here in a second and actually adhere my photo down. That way I can just, I guess more so know, yep, that's where it's going to be. And I can just tuck things here and there if I want. And here I go. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to do it. So you'll see me rough up the edges of that. And then instead of using that tag, I found that almost round piece right there, the wood round. And I decided to use it instead of a tag. You see the tag up there above that I was using previously. And I'm going to go ahead and add the foam to it now. And then I will stick that down and start playing with the leaves again. I really did have fun with this. I'm kind of glad that I lost the footage of my other one. I've been doing a lot of layouts of my girls lately, and that's fine. My boys are older. I don't have as many pictures or as many that I have permission to scrapbook and share publicly. But I still have some in my stash that I've already been given the okay for. And so I wanted to scrapbook this one when I pulled it out and realized I still had it and hadn't scrapbooked it. So I thought it was giving me a great opportunity to go ahead and do another one. And I love the bright colors of all these leaves and everything. So I thought it was a fantastic one to do. And my son was happy with the way it turned out as well. I let him see it and he thought it was great and still gave me permission to post it all. So I was like, well, I already did the layout. You told me I could before, so I really hope that it's still okay. But he didn't have a problem. He liked it. And so here at this point, I'm just playing with all the leaves and putting them here and there. Trying to figure out, do I want the bigger ones, too much orange in one spot, too much pink. I love that little corally color. There's not a lot of that coral color or that light green of those two last leaves I stuck in there. I guess I used most of them previously, but here I am. I'm going to go ahead and adhere them down, and I'm doing more towards the base of each of the leaves so that they stay sticking up. And so I'll do that all around on both sides of the photos, and really it gets to where you can't see much of that wood round. But it's okay. You still see a little bit of it sticking out here and there. So, but I do that with all the leaves, just stick a little bit, towards the base. I mean, and honestly with this glue, that's all you really need. It's a good strong hold and it does fast. So here I am pulling out some more pieces. I've got stuff from Pink Fresh Studio. I think both of those little pieces are Pink Fresh Studio right there. And then I'll pull out, there's the leaves that come from Pretty Little Studios, and I'll tuck some more of them in because they're a little different color. They're obviously a different texture because of what they're made out of. I guess maybe they are a vellum because you can kind of see through them, but not like normal vellum. I don't know, but I love them and they were in my stash, so I thought I would use them. They went along. A lot of them had great color that matched this collection that I had already been messing with, so I thought they were perfect. And then I also have the sticker sheet for the bungalow. I want to say it's Bungalow Lane. That Paige Evans kit or collection is. And so I have the 12 by 12 sticker sheet or the 6 by 12 sticker sheet that's double-sided that I'm going to pull a few things off of. And that's a tree actually from that same collection. And I just cut the stem or the base of the tree off and used it and tucked it under. And then I did one of the epoxy hearts over to the other side as well. There's a little saying right there. It's a sticker off the sticker sheet that I went ahead and added down below. I added the cute little buttons here and there. I didn't really use a ton off the sticker sheet. I thought about using another word sticker, but I decided against it. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere those down. That's another Pink Fresh Studio circle. It's a chipboard circle that I put up top. And these are Pink Fresh Studio enamel dots, 2 different sets. And I'm just going to add some here and there around the layout. Not really anything specific. I just like the way they looked, so I put them there. And then I think I'm just about done, but then I decide too much white space. As you see, I started to clean up, but then I decided against cleaning up the rest of the way. I'm going to cut some of this Dear Lizzie paper. I was trying to decide, do I want to go with this one, the blue, because it's pretty, or do I want to go with the wood? And I decided to lay the wood behind it, and I liked the way it looked. I'm going to mess up the edges, obviously, and I still liked it, so I'm going to go ahead and stick it down. And I'm not sticking a 12 by 12 behind it to see, because I left flat parts on each side so that I could go ahead and know where it's supposed to end, and that it keeps it a 12 by 12. And there I was trying to figure out if I wanted to put the blue on top. No, I'm going to stick with the wood grain. And so I go ahead and add this one to the top, and that does finish my layout. I don't add anything else. Off camera, I did do some of my journaling on the back because I didn't leave anywhere to do hidden journaling on this one. But yeah, that's the end of this layout. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check out the links below for everybody else participating, and make sure to head over to Instagram and see everybody participating there, and the Rediscover Your Stash group on Facebook. There's a ton of us. So thank you so much for watching. You have a great day. Bye.